Namaste, welcome to Gita's Kitchen. The Prasadam of the day is Tenga Purnam Modakam, coconut and Jaggery Modakam. First, to make the outer covering, I am taking 1 cup of water, add a teaspoon of ghee, just a pinch of salt. When the water starts coming to a boil, just add 1 cup of this processed rice flour and stir it well together. Let it all come together. Mix it without any lumps. We'll switch it off. Now I am transferring it to a wet piece of white cloth. Just cover it and allow it to rest for some time. I have already made a video on how to make this homemade rice flour. I'll give you the link in the description box. Now for the stuffing, just take a small teaspoon of ghee. To this I am adding half a cup of jaggery and 1 cup of fresh grated coconut. We will mix this together till the jaggery melts and everything comes together. See, the jaggery has melted and it has all come together as one sticky mass, the coconut and the jaggery. Now I am adding some cardamom powder to it. At this stage we can now switch it off. Allow the stuffing also to cool down for a while. See, the rice flour dough has cooled out now. Just take a little bit of ghee or oil in your hands and mix this dough. Knead it very well till you get a nice soft and smooth dough. See, knead it very well to a soft and smooth dough like this. Then take out required portions of the dough. Remaining, again cover it with a wet cloth and keep so that it doesn't dry out. Now you can just use your fingers to make this. Just pinch the edges so that you get a cup shape. Now in this cup, again I have portioned out this stuffing into small balls like this. You can keep one portion of the stuffing and then you can just bring all these edges together and join them at the top. There, like this. A perfect Purnam Kodakatai. Now we can make the remaining like this and steam them. If you are not able to make with your hand, today I will show you how to make it. You get molds like this also easily in the market. So just grease the mold with a little bit of ghee. Now close this tightly and fill this dough inside like this. So this will be easy for beginners who have not yet learned how to make the cup shaped kodakatais or modakams. Make a depression in the center and there you fill with this purnam or this jaggery and coconut stuffing. Finally, take another small portion of the dough and seal it from top like this. Remove any excess. Now we can open this mold and see. See, lovely modaks, beautifully shaped using the mold. So you can do whichever method is convenient to you. I'll try to give you the link also. I got this from Amazon only. Similarly, we will make all the modaks and then we have to keep for steaming. The water is boiling in our steamer. Now place these modakams for steaming. You kept both the types, handmade and using the mold. Steam it for 8 minutes on a medium flame. See, our modakams are steamed and ready. I have now switched off the gas. We are now ready to perform the Naivedyam for Ganesha. Traditional coconut and jaggery modakams ready for Ganesha's Naivedyam. Namaste. Welcome to Gita's kitchen. Shuklam Bharadhanam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopa Perivacharanam. The very first name in this series of 16 names is Sumukha. Om Sumukhaya Namaha. What is the meaning of Sumukha? Mukha means face. Sumukha means a very pleasant face. See, even when we go to somebody's house, we are guests in some function, we see how we are received by them. If we are welcomed with a pleasant face, we feel very happy about it. Or we said they welcomed us very nicely. We had a very pleasant welcome over there. But at times, what happens when we go to somebody's house, they are just busy watching their TV or some other program, and then we feel maybe we had gone at the wrong time. But then we should always have a Sumukham, a smiling face, a pleasant face, because face is the index of the mind. And what we feel in our heart, what we feel in our mind, that becomes our attitude, and that is what is reflected on our face, and in turn, in our attitude to all those around us. Those of you who remember our Lalita Sahasranama last year during Navratri, we came across the word Smita Mukhi. Smita Mukhi means Smita, a smiling face. So here also our Ganesha has got a very, very pleasant face. And when you look at Ganesha, you can see Ganesha idols in all shapes and forms. But whenever you look at Ganesha, you feel that there is so much of peace, contentment, and happiness always radiating from him. And when we go and look at him in that form, all that peace and happiness also is transferred to us. So always remember to have a Sumukha. See, generally in life, we say we have role models, especially teenagers, younger children. They have sports persons as their role models, or maybe people from the film industry as their role model, in the sense they start walking like them, talking like them, dressing up like them, and so on. So in our life, we can have Ganesha as our role model, with the first quality being having a Sumukha, a pleasant face, a happy face, a pleasant attitude, come what may, always have a smiling face. And Ganesha is also represented as having an elephant's face. Now, what is so special about the elephant? Especially in South India, when you go to the major temples, very often you will find a large elephant at the entrance. And children as well as adults, we stand in awe looking at the huge size of the elephant. And we are so intrigued, and we can stand and look at the elephant for hours together without feeling bored or anything. We look at its huge ears, which it keeps waving like this. We look at its huge form. We look at its long trunk. And in some of the temples, the elephant raises its trunk and even blesses you by keeping it on your head, for keeping the trunk on your head. At Sringeri, if you go, we have it in Tiruchi, in Madurai. Most of the temples, the large temples or the ancient temples in South India, you will find this. Now, here is a small story about how Ganesha got his elephant head. Many of you will be familiar with this story, but listening to it every time gives us a lot of peace and happiness too. So it is said that once Mother Parvati went to her inner chambers to have a bath. Then she wanted somebody to stand guard outside her door and not allow anybody to come in. So Mother Parvati is all auspiciousness herself. She is Sarvamangala. So she takes out some auspicious haldi, that is turmeric and chandan, from her body and creates the rupam of a small boy with a small human head, a small child. And she breathes life into him. And she makes this boy stand outside the door and tells him, you please stand guard outside and do not let anybody inside at all. So young boy, when small children are given responsibilities, they feel very, very happy with it, and they think that they're doing a tremendous job. So our little Ganesha also was standing outside the door. Then after some time, what happens is, Shivji, who had gone out much earlier, now returns. And when he returns and he wants to enter the house, he finds this new small young chap standing outside the gate. He doesn't know who it is. Then he says, yeah, move away from my way. I want to go inside. Ganesha takes his role very seriously and he says, no, Mother Parvati has told me not to let anybody inside and I cannot allow you to go inside. So initially they tried to plead with him, reason with him, make him understand, but Ganesha is firm and resolute. He says, absolutely no, you cannot go. Then he sends his armies also, but then also Ganesha doesn't allow them inside. By now, Shivaji gets a little bit irritated and angry too. Now, this anger, remember, he pretends to be angry. I'll tell you the reason later. And then he just says, off with his head, and he cuts off the boy's head. Then when Parvati comes out after a bath and sees all this commotion, she's extremely upset. And she threatens to make the universe come to a standstill. And then Brahma pleads with Shiva. And then Shiva goes again to his wife and says, no, please don't be so angry with me. I'll do something to make you feel better. No, she says, nothing doing. I want the head put back on this child. He is my child. And I want him to be brought back to life again. So Shiva thinks about it and says, okay, done. Then he orders his people working under him, and he tells them to go and bring the head of the first being they see outside. So there they find this elephant and they take its head and give it to Shiva. And Shiva places the head on Ganesha's body and breathes life into him, and he comes back to life again. And that's how our little Ganesha got the head of an elephant. See, I told you there was a story behind Shiva's chopping off the head of Ganesha. There was once a demon called as Gajamukhasura. He did a lot of tapas and austerities, and he received a boon that he should not be killed by any being except by somebody with an elephant's head. And also that baby or that person should not have been born in the normal human way of how a child is born. So not in the unison of a male and female biologically as we understand it. So that is why this Ganesha had been created by Parvati out of the auspiciousness of her body with the haldi and the chandan, and she had breathed life into it. And also now Shiva had placed an elephant's head in order to kill that Gajamukhasura, who was causing a lot of trouble to many people on the earth. So this baby with an elephant head would be responsible for killing that demon with Gajamukhasura. There is a reason behind every action. Now look at this, something more. When you say Mukham, Mukham not only means face, Mukham can also mean, Mukha also means mouth. So when we say Sumukham, you have a good mouth. What is the meaning of good mouth? That is, you speak well, speak kind words, speak affectionate words. In fact, my father always used to remind us of this saying, Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat. Speak the truth, speak that which is affectionate and loving. If you think about it, a wise man generally does not speak much. He will not speak unnecessarily. He will speak only what is required and when it is necessary. Similarly, he doesn't go on non-stop chatter like how other people do. So similarly, an elephant is considered to be very wise, and our Ganesha, of course, he is the total of all wisdom. And there is another small story to talk about these two. It says that, you see, when we offer different flowers and different leaves. One of the flowers we say, Rasala Pushpam Samarpayami. So this Rasalu refers to this sweet mango. Many of you in South India will be familiar with this Rasalu variety of ripe mangoes, which we actually just squeeze out and enjoy that lovely sweetness. So this wisdom of Ganapati is just Amrita Jnanam, the sweetness of all wisdom of all Jnana. And the story to show this, there is another very simple story which we have listened to as children, where it says that once Narada comes to Kailash, the abode of Shiva and Mother Parvati, and he brings with him this fruit of knowledge, or in the form of a mango, a rasalu mango. And that time, our little Ganesha and his brother Kartikeya or Subramanya are also present. So he tells them that I will give, both of them want this fruit. So he tells them this fruit will be given to the person who is able to go around the world and come back first. So immediately Subramanya sits on his vahana, that is the peacock, and flies away fast to cover the entire world and come back. Our Ganesha, I told you, is the repository of all wisdom. What does he do? He stays where he is and he quietly just goes around his mother and father, Shiva and Parvati. And he says, now Narada, give me the fruit. So Narada, he says, you didn't go anywhere. You were standing here only. How can you ask for the fruit? He says, no. You said to the person who goes around the world and comes back first. I don't come back first. And he said, but where did you go? I went around my world. My world is my parents. That is Shivji and Parvati. Hence, you have to give me the fruit. And Narada was so happy with this explanation. And the story goes that he gave it to Ganesha and Ganesha enjoyed the fruit. And after a while, of course, Subramanya comes back huffing and puffing after going around the world. And he gets angry seeing, that Ganesha has stood where he is and yet he has received the fruit. And then he goes away to Parani. There are many other stories. So the thing is, we tell the story to children that one has to use his wisdom in any situation. So the first Nama of the day is Sumukham. So let us all learn this from Ganesha to have a pleasant face, a smiling, peaceful, happy face. You must have seen this Ananda Nartana Ganapati also. That is Ganapati in the form of a dance pose also. Some pictures you might have seen. Is it possible for somebody to be dancing when they are sad? Only when you are happy, you can dance with a gay abandon and full of happiness. That is how we should be. Always happy, always cheerful. So that when somebody looks at us also, they will feel happy, they will feel cheerful. If we are going to keep an angry, worried or a crying face all the time, people around us also, they also won't feel very, very cheerful in that surrounding. So come what may, have a smiling face, welcome everybody with a smile and genuinely show that kindness and affection. Be cheerful and Ganesha will definitely bless us. Om Sumukhaya Namaha. Periyava Sharanam. We will meet again tomorrow with the next Nama. So please recite the Shodasha Nama. I will give it to you in the description box too. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to Gita's Kitchen and we'll meet again with another interesting episode from Gita's Kitchen. Thank you.